Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the New York Giants and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Now we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Giants and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, the streak continues, doesn't it? They come in a perfect 10-0.
And it's not just that they're winning, it's how they're winning. All phases of the game coming together for this team.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
It's been quite the evolution for Stephon Diggs because when he came out of high school, many thought he was the top prospect going into college football. Didn't have quite the career that was expected and actually got drafted lower than what many people thought. But, boy, is he playing to a top level now while he's in Minnesota.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. A look now at the starters for the Giants defensively. They played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll drop to throw. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
We always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. The numbers a week ago for Cook. 15 carries, 64 yards.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
All right, here we go.
On second down, Cook. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down.
Now let's go. Green, 30.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Set to take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
They'll run with Barkley. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And all the way to the 25 before he's hit and dropped. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. These are his numbers from last week's contest. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I believe the Giants got this back, and they will hold on to the possession. But call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards on the play.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the run, it's Barkley. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
And now out comes Minnesota. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's caught on the right side. Williams. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. They'll look to throw here, and his throw's going to be incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. He got 29 yards that time.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Pass incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. First grab so far for Diggs. It's a first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
first down. He'll drop to throw it. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Here we go now.
They run the counter with Cook, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They're going to look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward, incomplete pass. Daniel Carlson now for the Viking field goal. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
So the next time we leave one of those coaches' meetings and we're walking out in the hall and you're like, how come we spend so much time talking about special teams?
Here you go. This is why.
This is why, right? And then look, I'm right there with you. We hear it every time we meet with coaches, but it is a big part of it. Look at how early in the game this occurs. They block a kick, and not only does it set a tone, it sends a message for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so much for our first points of the game. So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal.
Let's go.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
They come up with exactly 1 minute to go in this first quarter.
All right, here we go.
A handoff to Barkley. Room to run past midfield. Avoids him at the... Accelerating, and off he goes. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. A tremendous play there from Saquon Barkley. 59 yards. So down inside the 5-yard line. I have to say, really just a poor job defensively there.
You're exactly right. As a former defensive back, that was not played well at all. But give credit to the offense and give credit to the guy running the football. He gets it down all the way inside the 5.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
Here we go. Green.
They'll try and run forward Barkley. And he's going to bull his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. Saquon Barkley with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Giants are going to take a first-quarter lead. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive, and how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. PAT up and good by Rosas. And it's now a 7-0 game. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, and they've got it here with a 1st down. Again, this is Cook. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now a give to Taylor. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Still a couple yards short of the 1st as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Going deep for Diggs. And this is caught inside the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
3rd and short, and you're just trying to pick up a 1st down. Maybe run the football, throw a little short route. Pretty gutsy maneuver there. They took that thing downtown, and it paid off.
Here we go now.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
And they might think about going for it here, but it's still just the second quarter. Take the 3 points, tell the defense you believe in them, and let them get the ball back for you.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He had his lone attempt blocked earlier. Carlson able to put this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. This is fielded at the goal line. Oh, good move. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They go play action here on 1st down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Here we go now.
Back to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Here's a give to Barkley. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And it's caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And now out comes Minnesota. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Here we go. Green, 39. Green.
On play action, they'll throw. He goes full extension, and he's got it. A very solid gain of 27.
I know you don't get anything extra for degree of difficulty, but maybe you should. He's done absolutely everything in this game today, including laying out for that one.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when you clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And it's actually been out of the backfield, handing the ball off where they've had a lot of success. So if you're the quarterback, do you just maybe say, you know, maybe this isn't my day, our running game's going so well, you just continue to lean on that?
I agree. That's exactly what you do. And you have to kind of take your ego and put it aside because you always think your next throw is going to be your best throw, right? Your next play is going to be your best play. Lean on what's working for you right now. That should help carry your team to victory if things keep going in the direction that they are.
Yeah, because the formula has them the lead currently. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Now back to throw. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
And the Giants send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Fielded at the 20. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defense, is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Really solid coverage from the current NFC Defensive Player of the Week. Also had an interception in that game a week ago.
And it was fun to watch him in practice this week, wasn't it? To see how he understands spacing and when the ball's arriving, which hand to put out in front to try and knock it away. And he just exhibited on that play.
They'll look to throw. And that's incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Vikings on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 10.
Set! Green 39!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Taking it about the 16. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. He hasn't had his best day. They have been good running the football, and they have the lead, though. So maybe he just personally wants to improve his play.
And that's without a doubt, because at the end of the game, he wants to feel like he had a really good hand in his team winning, if in fact they do go on and get that done. But the bottom line is finding a way to win the game. So if you're not playing that well, but somebody else is on the team, keep going to that hot hand.
Yeah, not over yet, but looking good here in the 2nd quarter. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 52 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. This is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A good pickup there, a 22. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, bye weeks, they're over. We've once again got a full slate of games to get to as we take you around the NFL here in Week 12. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Dak Prescott, excellent in the victory as his guys pushed their record up to 8-3 on the year. From there, we'll head to Pittsburgh to check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cleveland Browns. A touchdown there for Le'Veon Bell. Lastly, we head to the Gulf Coast and check on the Bucs at home in Tampa. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Carolina Panthers. The Bucs trying to gut this one out as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Meanwhile, in our game, not a lot of offense to go around. 7-3 is our score. Will we see things open up in the second half? To find out, we get it back to our guys in the booth, Brandon Gott and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Back to throw now on first down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A very solid gain of 27.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. This is Barkley, and an alley to run. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
Here we go now.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up.
Some good strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
So 2nd and goal, and standing by himself in the backfield, Barkley.
Let's go. 319.
He'll get it up the middle. And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley, his 25th touchdown. Tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Rosas to add the extra point. Rosas good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Let's go. 319.
He'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Let's go. 319.
He'll drop to throw. And he's able to find Diggs. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. And that one results in 35 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Hurry up. Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Troy! Working the middle here. That's complete to Everett, the tight end. A very solid gain of 27. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone, because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Again, it's Cook. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. The tackle by Janoris Jenkins.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Back to throw here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And who's got it? The Giants.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called. Because he doesn't feel like there's going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well.
I don't know about you, partner, but I'm rubbing my eyes after that play. Did we just see that runner not get yardage? A big-time play by the defense. It does happen occasionally, even against the best running backs who are having big days.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll drop to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
That's a 2nd sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
Here we go now. Blue line it.
Looking to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
This quarterback now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Escapes the sack. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They'll set up to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. He'll find Thielen, work in the middle. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. On third down, that's Taylor, and that play went nowhere. Losing yardage, it'll be back at the 36.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. The Giants' offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They'll look to throw here. They fight, but in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Anthony Barr. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Here we go now.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. So they wind up throwing it against your advice, but the result's still a 4th down.
Well, it did turn out to be a safe throw. And you know how sometimes coaches talk about using short passing game as a run? Essentially, that's what they did there. Now they can kick it away.
And the Giants send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is brought in at the 21. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They're going to look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Dalvin Tomlinson. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook, and he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Pressure, the Giants get there.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at about the 28. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. He's going to rifle one deep left, and this is caught. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Evan Ingram, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants add on to their lead. They had the lead in the fourth, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
Rosas now to add the PAT. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Now let's go. 3, 9.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. They'll find Everett there, complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get bet?
Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Going deep. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Here we go now.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. 3, 9.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. First target, first catch at a 1st down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter
Automatic
anymore
first
how
down.
you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Cook following the penalty. And now running right through it. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
All right, here we go. 319. 319.
Back to throw. Escaping the and he's gonna score. It's a Viking touchdown. It's their quarterback taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it makes the score 21-10. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
The good signal callers will never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Here we go now.
On play action, they'll throw. Shrugs him off. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pick up there, 26 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. And with a play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Now back to throw. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Sterling Shepard, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Rosas to add the extra point. Rosas good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And a play like that, with how far he had to go to make that sack, shows how athletic defensive ends have become in the NFL.
And not just athletic, this is coached in a big way. Run to the football at all times. How about him never giving up on it and pursuing all the way across the field?
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. They'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score.
Let's go. Green 39.
Now a desperation throw, and that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down. That is incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Able to get away. But now he's swallowed up and taken down.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Trying to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Williams. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And unable to break away, they stop him a few yards shy. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. New York set to take the field. They have the big cushion. Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. The 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Giants add on to their lead. Rosas now to add the PAT. And oh, it's blocked. And the Vikings have got him. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I rarely question anyone's effort on the field. But normal, you give up a touchdown like that, a long-distance play, there's usually not a lot of resistance on the extra point. In this case, though, boy, they bowed their backs and got after it, didn't they?
Yeah, a little revenge. Nicely done.
Yeah, way to go. Get in there, block it, and show them that they're still fighting.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And give them a gain of 37. They'll look to throw now on first down. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down. So not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. He'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Daniel Carlson now for the Viking field goal. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. The kick by Carlson is good. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes. Get out of there.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Giants, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And they'll be back home next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, it's starting to look like it won't be their year as they drop to 5-6. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona Cardinals. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.